Hi there, YouTube. This is Melissa, and today I'm going to be sharing a little project that, again, I'll be working on for my kids' two teachers, and so let's get started. So I decided that a few years ago that I was going to give gift tags, Christmas gift tags specifically, as gifts to my children's teachers. And so the idea was to pick 4 separate tags, make 5 of each, and then give them on, as their gift. So I went to Hobby Lobby to get a box, and usually, I don't have trouble finding a box, but this time it was, I don't know. So anyway, here's what I have. I found this box. It's just a white, it's smaller than a shirt box. It's like, not 8, well, kind of like 8 by 10, but so it's just it was a white box, and I covered it with craft paper. And like I've done in the past, since it's a shirt box, I always hot glue my flaps in place to make this more sturdy. So this would be the lid, and essentially I will be, adding wrapping paper or what have you in the end. So this is the inside. And what I did was I made my box inserts, and because this is a shirt box and not as sturdy as the other box I'm going to show you, I went ahead and glued all my inserts in place with just a regular craft glue, or like I said, I used hot glue to do the flaps. But I'm going to show you how to do the inserts, and yeah, then I'll do in another video, so this one's not too long, the tags that I come up with. So so the first thing you want to do is, choose your colors, of course. This happens to be another box that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. This was the smallest craft box I could find, but a little different than a shirt box. Quite a bit more sturdy, and they didn't have 2 because, like the lady explained to me, they order these as stackable boxes, so when the stack's gone, then they order another stack. And so since I, didn't want to wait, I improvised, like I said, with the other box. But realistically, they're both pretty. The teachers really, really what's inside is what counts. So to make my inserts, I start off by measuring my space, and then with scratch paper, I cut them down, see if I like. I usually leave like 1/8 of an inch around. Since this is a sturdier box, I don't have to, if I don't want to, glue my inserts in, if I want, because this is, the reason why I did that before was just to give the other box just a tad more stability. So after you've done that, you go ahead and measure the length and the width. You can decide on the depth. I usually stick with 1 inch. This one's probably almost 2 inches, but 1 inch usually works for me because I don't have my tags usually going over that, so they stay in their little quadrants. So I already went ahead and made one and hot glued it. So essentially this is what it's going to look like. And what I do, now this works for me. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube on how to make, boxes and what have you. This is just what I do because I've been doing it like this for so long, and it's fast. So you take your measurements here, length and width, and you add, well, I add 3 inches to each measurement. So that after you've added your, the extra inches, you have room to fold over. So I'm going to show you how to score one box. This one will fit in here, and like I said, because this is a very stable box, if I don't want to, I don't have to glue it in. So I'll show you how to make what I do really quickly. So here's my Martha Stewart board. Here's my sheet of paper. Essentially, this is this blue insert with 3 added, 3 added just to the length and 3 added to the width. You don't need 3, 3, 3, 3 because that would just be way too big. But again, there's other tutorials out here. And so I don't have to know my measurements all the way across. This is just the way that works for me. I always start, I know I want a 1/2 an inch fold over, so I always score 1/2 an inch, and I usually want it an inch deep, so I go an inch over and score at 1.5. If you wanted it deeper, you know, of course you'd have to adjust your measurements. So then I just turn my sheet. Rather than making all my measurements all the way across, I feel like it's a lot faster for me to just know I'm at 1, or I'm at, you know, 1/2 and then 1.5, and just flip my paper. So I'm putting general pressure on this. This isn't any special cardstock. This is just the Recollections brand from Michaels. I buy the red pack because I go through a lot of red around the holidays. They have all kinds of color combo packs. Okay, so now that you have all 4 sides, you want to go ahead and fold in your 2 edges. And this goes very fast. Like if you wanted to mass produce these, you know, I'm making 10 tags at a time, moving on to the next tag. That way all my supplies are out. I, you know, come up with the idea for the one and just mass produce it. So then, on your 2 longest sides, you're going to go in, not the first score line, but the second score line, and you're going to make, I just do this, make a small V around my score line. Just makes everything fold in nicer. So you're going to go over, you know, it's not exact, you just eyeball it. That way when everything folds in, you don't have any, you know, uneven scoring or what have you. Because not everything's perfect. And this way everything will just fold in nice and won't bump on anything else. So, trying to do this quickly. Okay, so easy peasy. So then you just fold this edge in. You're going to do the same over here. I just like to score it right here, make everything a little easier. And then you just bring your 2 edges. Now again, I use hot glue on this, and you know, I use my heat gun to get away any of those little strings, but for right now you get the idea, because I will be hot gluing this closed. So, excuse me, that's essentially going to fit in here once it's all done. So then, and like I said, I don't have to glue these because this is very sturdy. I know it's not going anywhere. The next part is the insert. So you're going to want to measure if you want an insert. I mean, if this is for cards, well, this is probably a nice space if you were wanted 1 insert with cards and tags, whatever. But I'm making 4 tags. So I measured my length here and added 1 inch because I'm going to score a 1/2 inch up. So I've already done that. So like I said, I measured this and added 1 inch for my score. And then how you score depends on, I'm going to glue these, you know, later, but I went ahead and made them. How you score, where you score, like I happen to like it uneven here. If you have a bigger tag, like I'm going to show you the bases of the tags that I planned so that you could see how I came up with this configuration. So one of the tags I'm going to be making is using this Lawn Fawn frame, the stitched frame. So I believe that's going to go there. One of the tags I'm going to be using is a circle die. So that's going to go there. And actually it's a little big, but this circle cuts on the inside, so this will work because it'll fit in there, because right now it's a little tight. The next I'm going to be using is a framelit from Stampin' Up. It's part of it's called the Deco Labels. It comes in a pack of 4. This is the one, this is the size. You don't want them too big, but this is the size I want. And then the next one I'm going to be using some sort of like shipping tag idea. This is just one from my local store, but anyway, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back with a share of the tags as I go. I don't want this video to be too long, but briefly I'm going to show you the products I hope to use. This is an old Stampin' Up. It's called Santa's List. It's super cute. This is new. It's a release called Village. They're dies from Simon Says Stamp. I'm hoping to use that on the circle. I'm hoping to use this Santa on the stitch die. I'm definitely going to be using my Joy to the Woods, Lawn Fawn. That is going to go on this deco one, I'm hoping. Again, it's all prototype. And then lastly, on the shipping tag, this is from Stampin' Up. They have several snowflakes. There's actually even a bigger one. I plan to use this in some way, shape, or form on this shipping tag. So yeah, if all goes well, I should be back soon to share what I've created. Yeah, at least the tags anyway, so you can get a jump on your teacher gifts. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.